I'm here. I'm just getting some coffee and stuff.
Okay.
Pause. Jason just liked my selfie. What a creep. Is that guy sleeping over there? Yeah, the one next to the girl with no shoes on? That's so ratchet. That girl is such a fake model. She definitely bought all her Instagram followers. Who goes out on Mondays? Okay, let's go take some shots. Oh no. Ugh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Oh wait, never mind. I'm fine. Let's go dance. There's no vodka at this table. Do you know anyone that's here?
How do you want me
Jason just texted me.
to put
Should I
crime
go with him? I guess I
visual
just put
awareness
selfie,
in there? Do you just want me to add that as a manual ability?
Yeah. That's more of a story thing than an actual combat mechanic.
Yeah, true. Okay, I'll just add it to my ability features, okay?
Alright.
Same thing goes for, I believe, Ranger Conclave.
Ranger what?
Conclave.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly
Whether
what
you
that
work
is.
at night or you're a mother of three, find your dream. Whether you work at night
Okay.
or you're a mother of three,
That's
find your
related
dream
to the
career with our
Hunter Lost
faculty.
Black and White.
Take a few courses or start off with one. Come as you are. See what you become. At St. Louis Community College, let a fully customizable schedule, hands-on training, and dedicated faculty all work together to help you start wherever you are in life and finish even stronger. Enroll now at stlcc.edu.
For the past year, I've been talking to New York City police officers who are in a fight for their lives. They say it's them
Okay, how
against
do
this
you want
broken,
me to,
out-of-control machine that runs the police
pick
department.
my
There are
actual
believers within the
archetype?
police department that
You just
believe that
want-
this
do I
is the
get that
right way to
option
go.
just by
That we
leveling
have
up?
to attack black people.
Yeah,
and
just
if
put
you're
Ranger
different,
on you again
you're
and it should
against
give you
us.
the
You
choice.
can hear about their fight against the machine and the very surprising story of how it got built on the Reply All podcast. Tap now to listen on Spotify.
Truly, a refreshing hard seltzer with only 100 calories.
Oh, that's delicious. That is good.
Truly, drink what you truly want.
Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Mass. Per 12-ounce serving.
Okay. We got a new guy. Session 1 of Princes of the Apocalypse today. We ran through Lost Mines of Phandelver, or Phandelver, however you pronounce it. And now we're starting Princess, so shall we find? I kind of woke up a little bit late. I was pretty dang tired. I'm still kind of tired, but I'll survive. So yeah. Kind of woke up. And now here we are.
Okay, the regular party is just going to get started, and then Arawak, we're going to get you looped in when you're ready, alright?
Yeah.
Okay, is everyone here?
Ivy.
I am.
All right, cool. Thanks for your patience, guys. Let's. An evil spirit asking you to deal with a spectator. You also picked up a few magic weapons, and your employer, Gundren, was very happy to get his brother back and to get access to the cave several weeks before.
Yeah.
Not too long after that, you guys have been partying and celebrating at the inn when your old contact, Sister, came to you and confessed herself a part of the Harpers. She said that the Harpers and several other factions across the Sword Coast have become concerned as somewhere in the Desern Valley, a delegation made up of various men from all of their orders has gone missing. On top of that, along in the Desern, rumors of strange events happening, weird weather patterns, earthquake, and random brush fires starting where there usually wouldn't be any. This has intrigued you guys enough, and you have, with a promise of hefty payment afterwards, to travel to the Desert. I've shared with you guys a note called Delegation Members, and that has the names of the most prominent delegation members as well as the other makeup of the traveling.
That was from last week.
If you look there, you can see that
shit.
it was made up of quite a few guards and people. This isn't just some random 2 or 3 party traveling group that would disappear. This was a cavalcade, and they just poof gone.
Well, gotta go find him.
Right. So, you guys set out from Fandelva.
Silvery Moon.
And you make your way east along the Tribor Trail, similar to what you've done before. The Tribor Trail is familiar to you as you've traveled up and down it a few times. And you know where to stop, and you know some of the best camping places. And you actually have got a couple of shortcuts
Tribor Trail.
that help speed you along.
Cool.
You make it to Connieberry and you say hi to Agatha. You move on from there.
Is she still old?
Further east. She's still old and she's still super dead. Like, super.
We just wave as we go by.
Yeah.
Well, you do. I might check her out a little bit. That's fucked up.
Alright, hold on.
Oh, yeah, I have Fireball now. And Haste.
There we go.
That means I'm full HP. Ooh.
Sharing with you guys a map of the Desern Valley.
Cool. So I guess I can save that.
Alright, so like I said, you guys are just now passing Desern, or Coneyberry.
Right.
And you've got about 3 days more travel to Tribor. Along the way, you can look over towards the south, and you see the ruins where you fought the Necromancer. And further on, you can see the tips of the mountains where you went in and found the Horde had been raiding around the area. And you wonder if you got all of them, or had they have just simply moved on. But another several days of travel winds you in Tribor is a kind of came about due to it being the intersection of 4 different roads. It is less of really of a village and more like a horse market with ranches around it. Almost everything here is more dedicated to raising horses, selling horses, or providing travelers either with a place to stay or getting them kind of back on the way. There's a few blacksmiths, but they don't make weapons. They make more like horse carriage, hinges, horseshoes, things like that.
Are we supposed to like go
With what we would
jump down and check it?
known about the getting from and going to, would they have stopped?
That's right. I'm trying to collect shit for necromancy.
The delegation, the delegation actually formed in Red Larch.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
Which is about a week's travel south of. Possibly one of the delegation members separately has been through more recently, about a month ago. But the delegation came together to form a traveling band itself.
That nowhere.
They were all going to meet there, run through what's called the Somber Hills to meet a few places along the way, and then travel to Neverwinter, which is, I believe, if I'm remembering the geography of this place, southeast of where you guys are, and not currently on the map.
Neverwinter would be northwest.
Is it northwest from here? Shit, I messed that up entirely.
It's north of the Tribal Trail.
Yeah.
And it's on the coast.
No, not Neverwinter. I'm sorry, Waterdeep. I think I was speaking. I think they were heading to Waterdeep.
That's even farther north.
That's more north? What the fuck was south? I'm sorry, I gotta look that up.
I think.
Waterdeep south of Neverwinter, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, they must have been heading towards after making a leisurely pace around Deseret Valley.
Oops, Sword Coast map.
I think they were planning on heading through and then south from.
One of the delegation members was traveling to Waterdeep. It says that in the description.
Yes, so Waterdeep is to the south, Neverwinter is to the north.
No shit, it is. Cool. Just ignore me. Everyone else does.
They were meeting in Waterdeep in order to discuss further plans of using their combined various orders in order to more peace and stability to the Sword Coast Mountains, or the Sword Coast in general.
Sword Coast? What?
Tribe war for the time being. It's pretty dead now. There's a few travelers here and there, but the town is relatively quiet. There's an inn here and there to stop at. But other than that, you can either continue on east to a place called Yatar, or you can head south for about another week to head towards Red Light.
That's a long drive, or long ride. Oh, whatever. Anyone else wants to do.
Let's just make a few inquiries in town to see if any of them came through this way, maybe, and then head south to.
I think we're right about there. About there.
Okay, so you what do you got there?
Oh, it's I'm just doing it for my own self.
I thought you were pointing at something.
No, it's just for my stream.
Okay. You ask around, you go into the inns and the common rooms, and you mingle a little bit. Nobody here really remembers any particular, so they don't remember anybody specifically like what you're talking about. You do. They have been affected by and heard stories of weird, like you've heard before, weird weather patterns. The Destern River nearby flooding randomly in different when it's not even the rainy season, and forest fires. A few times they have also noticed users or triples, strange monks in golden masks, wearing black robes. This is completely concealed, but so far they haven't done anything. They on edge, but
Really
at the same
robot-y.
time they seem relatively friendly and just are passing through. They haven't caused any,
Like super
but it is
stupid
something
robot-y.
that's kind of gotten the town, up because they're very, and they don't, and they're a relatively new site, only appearing in the last 2 or 3 months. Of them are currently in town.
Does this sound like a historical thing? Because my character would have no clue.
You can try history. Yeah, you don't. The monks are usually human, and you don't have much knowledge of human orders, religious orders, or
Does Rendrick know anything?
Rendrick, nothing like that strikes a bell with you either.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Ren, you look through it, and there are various. You know that there are various
I'm Ren.
isolated monk outposts in various places across the sword, different orders. Some religious, some more spiritual in nature. This particular branding, you don't remember off the top of your head.
Sad. I might have to restart because my shit is like really, really, really laggy today.
But you spend the night asking around town. For crops and are suddenly rendered unusable, and travelers along the way of the various locations among the Destern Valley just going missing. This has been for a long time kind of like the what one might consider the Wild West of the Sword Coast, but even then the roads have remained relatively safe as long as you stick to them and don't go venturing off. But now that doesn't seem to be the case.
Let's go venture.
But and you know that you still have quite a job.
Have we asked anyone which direction those monks were traveling?
You ask around, and one of the barkeeps seems to remember the monks mentioned that they were heading towards the Somber Hill.
I say we go that direction.
Yeah. Agreed.
Is that on our way?
Yes. Red Larch is to the south of Tribor.
Agreed. We're just chilling tonight. Trying to go to Red Larch. And yeah, my little gnome legs will just follow wherever.
So do we stay here for the night, or have we already done that?
You've already done that. You spent the night carousing various inns, asking
my
around,
second level spell
getting
slot
drinks, and kind of butting elbows with the various townsfolk before turning in, and you're ready to depart.
Want to keep.
So traveling south again.
Yeah.
Now you guys have moved
anymore.
away from what's called the Tribor Trail. That
Switch
then
to
turns
darkness.
into the Evermore Way at Tribor itself. But now you are on a different path. What is this one called? This one doesn't seem to have a name. But you're in more unfamiliar territory now. Towards the end of your third day, you pass a what's called a stone bridge crossing over a small lake, and a stream, Sword Mountain.
Cool.
And then you take another camp for the night.
I'll take first.
I can do second with Bertha.
Third.
All right, you guys roll me.
I don't know why. Oh yeah. I'm kind of lagging right now.
Oh really? Okay.
Which is weird.
Okay. You're all able to keep your eyes relatively open through your watches. Donato is also takes one of the. Continue along the way for another about day until you reach town.
Might have to restart like everything, or I can just restart.
You do a similar kind of thing through here, and this town is actually somehow smaller than even Tribor. You can tell that less traffic comes through here. And
maybe that'll fix
the
it.
West Bridge
I
do
just
know
swapped,
Tribor was a little bit
connections.
less in the know, but people in Westbridge have heard of the delegation, but none of them have seen anybody come through. But they do know about the delegation. Apparently, it has made rumors about the Deseret.
Besides the monks, has there been any like suspected bandit activity with all these people going missing?
So you kind of ask around about that, and it's hard to make out, but the rumor seems to be that the town of Wormford, which is way to the south, even past Red Larch, has recently gotten a reputation of being a lot shadier than it used to be. There's a lot more thugs hanging about there, and typically it's been driving people away from stopping in Wormford. But the people in Westbridge don't have much more information than that.
I'm like totally just chilling, not really like half asleep still.
Arawak, is your character ready?
Almost.
All right.
Take a night's rest in an inn while we can get it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's usually a good strategy.
Almost.
Yeah, if you need help with coding anything, Arawak, let me know.
Yeah, I'm almost done. I just need to pick two level spells and then do the physical stuff.
All right, so you guys take a nice, easy rest at the inn, and begin heading south again. You've made it about halfway to Red Larch at this point, and towards the end of this next leg of travel, you're
Larch
starting to
is
approach
right here,
the
I'm
beginnings
guessing.
of an uphill into what you believe would be the kind of edges of the Sumber Hills. The road leads uphill and then cuts through it, and then heads back downhill into Red Larch. Red Larch is on the other side of these hills. But on your way, when you start reaching that point, you start on the road traveling north while you guys are traveling south. You actually run across a giant herd of sheep traveling along. It's quite a large herd.
Large herd of sheep.
And you're a
I
bit
want its
surprised,
hooves. I want the hooves.
but none of the sheep do anything. They just kind of baa and pass through you.
No shepherd?
Towards the back, you can see 4 different shepherds, kind of, and a few
Interesting.
dogs, just kind of
So, like,
pushing
we're,
the
like,
sheep forward,
right
keeping them in
here.
place, doing various shepherd
About
things,
now?
working together as a team to move this livestock up north. And then on the side of it, you see a well-dressed man guiding the shepherds, looking around before he spots you. And as soon as he spots you, he almost like a light of recognition goes off. And as he approaches, you realize that he is a wood elf.
Ooh.
Of the ranger or rogue type variety, with a long bow strapped to his back. He approaches you and introduces himself as John Longstride. And he says that he too has been investigating the delegations, and his contacts in the Harpers have pointed him to you
my
guys.
games now.
He wishes to join your team in order to better investigate the delegation and the dangers and strangeness going on in the Desert Valley.
Looking over his appearance as perhaps a ranger, ask him if he's seen any evidence or such of the unnatural weather or something wrong in this.
So, John, I'm just going to speak for you for right now. You've been in the area for about an extra 2 weeks, and traveling between Red Larch and Westbridge has taken up a few days of that time. But what you have heard is that there have been sightings of more of those monks that you've heard about before. There have been people using keel boats to travel up and down the Desserin River that cut through the Sumber Hill, usually between somewhere in the middle of the Sumber Hills and then south towards Wormford. You have heard rumors of a new order of knights that seems to have taken up near somewhere in the Sumber Hills that have been taken to flying large vultures and hippogriffs. And then you have heard rumors of usually small to the point that it doesn't even show up on the map, settlements and various homesteads just randomly being found burnt to the ground all around the Desserin Hills. Not really any towns much larger than 4 or 5 people, but anywhere that there would be just a small, alcove of settlers or what do they call them?
Homesteads.
Homesteaders, thank you. Homesteads, suddenly they'll just the land around it will just have a
Right
scorched
here.
earth policy, and nobody
Ooh.
will be left.
That's not good. We don't want that, man.
So far, you have not actually been to Belly, but you have looked around in Red Larch for a little while before getting in contact that you were to meet with this group that you've run into here. So you kind of tagged along and offered to guide some travelers along the road until you ran into the group that you were looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing left for me to out of character for a sec. The only thing left for me to do is fill in the ideals and bonds and stuff, but I can do that later, okay?
Yeah, you can do that later.
You can do that later.
Kind of feel out your character a little bit more.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's about it. I added everything else.
Great.
Do you think it's worth us continuing to Red Larch, or should we head to Beliar?
Wherever you want to go, man. Doesn't matter to me.
Who are you asking?
Well, he said that your character had been to Red Larch and asked around. Do you think that we should continue there, or should we head to Belliard, which was, I think, the last known place that they were seen as a...
Oh, good. So, like...
I think
Belliard's over
we
there,
should
though.
head towards the ladder. The last place where they were seen.
If we're... Like, aren't we almost to Red Larch?
You're kind of like halfway. Let me get the drawing out.
Maybe I screwed it up. Yeah, because I thought, oh shit, okay, I thought we were almost...
You're kind of like right in this area.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I thought we were closer to Red Larch.
So you could either continue to Red Larch or backtrack just a little bit and then cut through the side of the Somber Hills there and get back on the stone trail.
Doesn't matter to me.
I think we should do that one.
I agree.
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
All right, so having run into your companion, the four of you move through the plains and travel along the Somber Hills until you run back into the Stone Trail that kind of offshoots south east of Westbridge.
God, my AC is
And
super fucking low.
that takes you. This isn't really so much a road anymore, so you have to be more careful, and it does slow your progress a little bit. So it takes you about another 2 days cutting through this wilderness to get back onto the Stone Trail.
Is this a forested area or grassland or something else?
There's interspersed foresty areas, but for the most part, this is more plains grassland, and with to the south of you, a rocky hill. But your ranger friend is able to help guide you along, keep you on track, until you do run into the stone tree.
That means I'm just going to die soon.
And you hit it and then travel for another couple of hours before you come upon a stone bridge crossing what your new friend John here describes as the Desern River, which is the major water source for most of the valley around you.
Somebody had the heat up to fucking 77. It's like, damn, it's not that hot out here.
And along that stone bridge, you see several strangely dressed humans that seem to be hanging out on the bridge, kind of looking into the water. One of them looks to be even praying into the water. But as you approach, you're about let's say about 100 feet away before a few of them turn and
It's
look
been a
to
year
you.
today,
There's
hasn't it?
about 4 humans spread across this bridge that's about a mile across, but they're mostly grouped up. You know what? I wouldn't even say it's a mile across. It'd probably be about a half mile across.
Can we see if they are armed?
You're okay. Give me a perception check.
Thin and in while we can get it.
That'd probably be about a half mile across.
Can we see if they are armed?
John, your keen eye spots that at least 2 of them do have swords strapped to their.
We should be careful, my friends. They might be brigands.
Do you continue onto the bridge?
I'll walk out in front.
Okay. Your bold movement definitely catches their attention, and the one who was kneeling next to the edge of the bridge with his head bowed suddenly perks up and looks over towards you. He whispers some things to the other 2 as they begin to approach.
Let's do it.
Try to look unconcerned, but look to see if he has perhaps at least a holy symbol. I may not recognize it.
Give me a perception check yourself, or an investigation. Okay. You don't know about any kind of holy symbol, but you do notice that the one that had given the orders to the first 2 is staying back, and he also has another humanoid staying near him while the other 2 approach you, and they are all dressed in kind of an aquamarine fabric, but mostly more like they have short cloaks and shorts, and don't have much other clothing besides that.
So they could be a gang or a boy band.
Yes, they do seem to be all dressed in a similar
They want to eat
fashion sense, I guess you could say.
me. They want to eat me. They're not going to eat me.
Afternoon.
You've come a long way out here, stranger. Have you come to pay respects?
We're on our way to Bellyard. And yourselves?
Oh, we're right where we belong now. Near the only thing of any real importance. Soon we'll be joining it. Will you be joining it with us?
What are we
Oh, I
joining?
think we tied.
My friends, the water.
Huh?
The water below.
I don't swim.
That which cuts through everything. Oh, that's okay. Not being able to swim just means that you don't know how to resist the water. It is the way it is.
Do you float?
We can float, yes.
Do we all float?
Would you like to know if you can float?
Do we all float?
We all float together. Come join us, won't you? And you see their hands begin twitching towards their weapons.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh, I think we will. All right, everybody roll some initiative, and I'm going to try to find a decent map.
Jesus, what is up with these high rolls today?
I missed your single digits.
They're usually really low.
Damn, I didn't even use my advantage modifier yet.
Oh, he has to put you on the combat tracker.
Yeah, I do. Sorry, guys. Gonna have to do some quick work on that.
Unacceptable.
All right.
What was I gonna do?
This Dread Ambusher feature is kind of confusing.
Dread Ambusher.
So what is it?
Dread Ambusher.
What about it?
Basically, it says that at the start of the first turn of each combat, your walking speed increases, blah blah blah. If you take the attack action on that first turn, you can make an additional weapon attack as part of that action. If the attack hits, the target takes an extra 1d8 damage of the weapon's damage type.
Huh. Does anybody else have any experience? Can help describe that?
So if I understand it correctly, if I take an attack on that first turn, I get to make an extra attack, and if that extra attack hits, it deals an extra 1d8 damage.
Yes.
Ah, cool. Okay.
And there's coding for that.
Alrighty. I think I've shared the map with you guys.
Yeah.
Wait, you have coding for that?
I have coding for everything.
Oh man, I love you already.
All right, Rin. You see them reach for their weapons. They look like they forcibly want you to join them.
No, I don't like water because I'm a little midget. So, let's see if you can deal with fireball, bastard.
That's a fancy name.
Crushing Wave Reaper.
Hey, why did he get to go first?
Did you roll initiative?
Yeah, 23.
You weren't on the combat tracker when he did that.
Oh, shit. Reroll initiative. Sorry, dude.
You have coding for that? Yeah, man, I got coding for everything, Bubba.
Oh, I'm assuming we got a long rest.
Yes, for sure.
Because I have some stuff that's expired.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, no one has
Oh,
initiative.
shit. Okay. God damn it. I'll just plug in your initiatives before,
Mine was
okay?
12.
That was 13, I think. Yeah. Airwhack was 23.
I was an amazing 8.
Damn Rangers.
All right, Ren. You acted quickly, but we're going to skip your turn through this on this round. You just got your turn. So, okay, John, it is now technically your turn.
Okay. Hold on. What's the the distance on that big Fatimer guys? Each tile like 5.
Yes, each tile is 5 feet.
Alright. I'm gonna attack him, and I'm gonna use the extra attack from Dread Ambusher as well.
Okay.
So that's the first one. He's wounded. Second one. Wait, the second attack, does that attack with proficiencies and stuff as well?
Yes, it should.
Oh, I missed. Okay.
So the only one goes wide, but you do manage to lob a shot up over the one in front into the fatter, bluer man standing behind him. In response, the one standing over the edge that was kneeling gets up, begins waving his, and shoots back towards you, John.
Okay.
Wait, does that mean he gets three attacks on the first turn?
Who?
Because he's fifth level. He gets 2 attacks, and then the Dread Ambusher lets him get another attack on the first turn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So you have, on the first round, you have 3 attacks, and then normally you have 2 attacks because you're 5th level. So go ahead and make your second attack if you want. All right. Okay. You lob 3 arrows at him. One of them goes wide, but the other 2 land into his.
All right.
Take that, you fatty.
And as each arrow kind of lands into him, his whole body just kind of like jet.
Like
His
he's made out
body
of water.
The war priest stands, looks over at you, John,
Excuse
attacking
me?
the one behind him. He lifts his staff and begins muttering. Suddenly, you feel your joints lock up in the
Nope.
position right as you were about to knock another arrow, and you're frozen in.
Damn, what the hell?
Didn't he make that save?
Oh shit! I read that in the opposite direction. You're right, but you're able to break through
I'm like
that initial component.
Like, didn't he make that save?
Compulsion.
I was like, come on, man, you made it.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
cool.
gosh.
Grumpy old man. Thank you for the fellow.
All right.
I'm a grumpy old man too, even though I'm only 33 for another couple weeks, but I'm still a grumpy old man.
The
Nothing wrong with that.
the fathomer.
First
As he
combat,
takes those 2 hits,
guy said,
he
we'll all
begins to
float down there.
morph and change
But no,
as
man,
his body becomes more and more liquid,
I'm not
and his
floating.
clothes dissolve into the water.
So, I'm at the...
After the transformation, he looks very much more similar to a snake made out of water, a
Nope.
large snake made out of water than any
Nope.
kind of man.
Nope,
And he begins slithering towards.
What the hell is that?
Nope. Nope. How about no?
The crushing reaver. Runs up to you full and takes a swing.
I don't have freeze, actually. Which is weird because I need to get one of those. A freeze
All
spell.
right, so the reaver runs up to you with a large longsword and takes a swipe one-handed at you. You get a look at the long sword. It is not a regular blade. The blades on the side are each extremely sharp, but they are deeply jagged. This is a weapon meant for ripping and tearing less than slashing. And the other Reaver does the same thing. But this one you're able to step back from, and it's, as the swipe comes right over your head. Ren, you had your action. Rendrick.
Okay, I'm going to move straight forward.
Blah.
Right there.
Excuse me.
I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on Fathomir as my bonus action.
Okay.
Then attack.
Oh yeah, I need to play with the death indicators because that was pretty damn cool.
Number one's the guy that hit me, correct?
Yes. All right, your battle axe gets a good hit on that Reaver.
I'm gonna expend my once a day extra attack to try to finish him.
All right. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that as a warrior or as a fighter, when you use that, you're taking another attack action, which means you get multi-attack again, meaning you get 4 attacks in one round. Am I wrong on that?
It gives you another action.
Yes,
The
and
rules are for
anytime you take
if
the,
there's
and
an
now that
attack.
he's 5th level, anytime he takes the attack action, he can take 2 attacks.
Yes.
So you do have another roll if you want. Damn.
I would like to roll in double digits sometime today.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Damn.
John, you were able to shrug off that priest's hold on you. Now you've got a lot more people closer to you. What are you gonna do?
Fucking priest. Alright, I would like to cast Hunter's Mark on that priest.
Okay.
Wait, what the heck? Oh wait, I didn't code it. Alright, never mind that for a sec. I'll just shoot 2 arrows at that damn priest. One.
Crit.
2. I need to check out the Hunter Mark spell a bit later. Something's wrong with
Yeah, I think Engorgio can help you with that.
Yep. I have coding for literally everything.
Yeah, we'll do that later. It's fine.
If you want to release your character, I can throw that on there.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Okay.
Done.
The priest lifts his staff up, and you suddenly, all of you, begin to feel a chill run down your spine.
Can you, really quick, can you release John, please?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
There you go.
All right, Hunter's Mark, did you want anything else?
The one for Dread Ambusher, if you have. The extra 1d8 damage for that.
Yep, give me a second.
Suddenly, all around you, freezing sleet and rain begins falling on you as the wind picks up.
And it also throws in your extra initiative, too.
Thanks.
All right, he's released. If you can release him back.
Okay, take him back again.
Thanks.
You are welcome.
All right, so that whole area around you, like I said, is being now bleeded with rain and slick sleet as the
17.
ground around you almost freezes in place. The water lands, then freezes where it is.
Not nice.
The wind has picked up and has started trying to blow against you.
Not nice.
The Fathomer in its liquid form doesn't even seem to notice this, though, as it takes a strike against you. Render it.
That's why I'm here.
But it lands on your armor and just kind of splashes off of it. What is the... Oh. All right, the Reaver.
What's the green?
One attack?
What? Yeah, actually, he only gets one attack. He's actually kind of in that regard.
Sad.
The Reaver stays on its feet as it takes another slice at you. But it's not able to hit. And the other one...
So that means he has to do a Constitution saving throw.
That one also stays on its feet as it takes a slice at you. This one able to bleed into you. Ren, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no. I'm bad at those.
Ren, you fall prone.
Okay, I'm going to stand back up, half move it. Then I'm going to point at the crushing priest, and like, you know, as a kid, like you mock pulling an arrow and releasing and all that good stuff. I'm going to do that, and as soon as like my right hand goes forward, a green acid arrow shoots straight at the priest.
All right. The acid splashes against its skin as it begins sizzling, and you can see the pockmarks begin sealing on it.
And if that's as he concentrating on that spell, or is that just regular?
Oh, he is concentrating on that spell. So he has to make a Constitution at, as you did, 7 damage.
A con save at DC 10 or half the damage, whichever's greater.
Right.
Okay, he makes that concentration.
Okay. You're going to die. I want his... Is he, like, have a staff or something like that?
He does have a staff.
I want his staff.
I got a 13 deck save.
Okay, you actually end up falling prone.
I'm gonna use half my movement to stand.
All right.
I'm gonna keep beating on Fathomir.
All right. All of you are finding it extremely difficult to stay on your feet as the winds blow and the ice forms around you.
I want his staff. Just to have it.
And my bonus offhand.
I just want it because I want it. Because I'm a silly little gnome.
Fulgrim, give me a dex save.
That fall doesn't break concentration, does it?
No, it doesn't do any actual damage, so I don't think it does. Fulgrim, your lower center of gravity and heavy armor keep you on your feet a little bit longer.
Yay, we're not dying.
Okay, as a bonus action, I want to use my second win because I'm almost at half hit points from these guys.
Yeah, they hurt.
I thought you want to get some... No, I don't know shit about fighters, so... Oh, that must be a heal. Cool, because I don't know shite about them. I just play usually casters and... Well, I get a Sorlock because I love that Sorlock. And my DM in that game hates me, which is kind of funny. But we have fun. That's all that matters. Why is my... Dice should not be that color. There we go. Should be green. Because it was black last time and I kept missing
another
everything.
good hit on the Reaver. He's bleeding pretty hard.
It's not nice.
And this wind is belting him just as much, but he almost seems to be enjoying it.
I'm gonna tell him your bodies will not go in the water. You're gonna sink into the ground. You're not gonna rejoin.
Never! His fervor just doubles. John, dex save. You fall over as well. You get pushed against the ledge of the bridge. You're lucky there's a guardrail there.
Alright, so I can use half my movement to get back up.
Yep.
Alright, now I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on that stupid fucking...
See, I put that on yourself, actually.
On myself?
Yeah, because it would give him an extra attack, and that's or D8. So DM would have to take that off of that crushing dude.
Oh shit. Okay, let me do that.
No, that's correct.
Is it?
You have to, look at the way it is on me, on Rendrick.
Oh, it's coded differently. Okay, because he does have Hunter's Mark. Okay, so sorry, ignore me. I have it differently on.
I'll keep it on the priest.
You have to have something on the target so that Fantasy Grounds knows that they're the ones that are marked.
Right.
So when you attack them, they get the extra damage.
Yeah, because it even says IFT custom Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, I used a custom one for mine in case there was somebody else had another Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, so you're good. Sorry, just ignore me.
Okay, so in the future, if I want to use Hunter's Mark, I gotta put it and on the target and the buff on myself.
Yes, and you can, as a bonus action, you can always move it too. So,
yeah,
as long as that guy dies.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then I'm just gonna use my 2 attacks on that priest and shoot some arrows at it.
Nope. Oh yeah. Wow. Oh, 17. Yeah. Nice. Get him.
Is it supposed to give him that much extra dice?
Oh no, he's got the Dread Ambusher on.
Oh shit.
That's only for the first round.
Yeah,
All right, so it looks like he just did 3, so I'll just mark it back by 3 and we'll be okay.
Right.
All right, I removed that Dread Ambusher.
How is he still alive?
It's not
Son of a
nice.
bitch.
It's not nice.
He's been sprayed with acid and taken 2 arrows, but he's definitely weakened, but it almost looks like he's hanging on by his own.
Actually, he's taken like 5 arrows, I think, or 4 by now.
2 of the arrows went into the Fathomer, or 3 arrows, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, that acid sizzles onto his skin, and in a last-ditch effort, let me see here.
Cause come on.
He raises his arms, and several streaks of magic come flying at him.
Shit.
One hits you, Ranger.
Oh, magic missile.
The other 2 come flying at you, John.
Yeah, it's not me.
Oh boy.
Oh no. There goes
It's
his
3 for magic misses, right?
At first level, yeah.
Okay.
Ow, that hurts. Damn it.
All right, the Fathom. Let's see. He's going to take another strike at you.
Come on.
But he just can't get through your armor.
I got Janus dropping
All right,
stuff
the
on my head.
reverse. 1 takes a swing at you.
Oh, you know, I should have taken magic missile too. Damn.
That's a total miss. The other one grips the sword in 2 hands,
Because I shouldn't really cast
but you
darkness.
clang it off as it swings down on you. Your shield comes up just in time.
So swap out
All
darkness
right,
for
Ren.
magic missile, and then I can do. Okay. I will Toll the Dead on that dude. Balls. Oh, did you want a dex? Did you want a dex saving throw?
Yes, dex save, please.
Oh my god.
All right, you fall on your ass and have to climb back up to cast that spell.
I did.
All right, both of you do.
I get back up. You just have my movement to get back up.
Yep.
It's funny because when I started playing this, I didn't know shit about like.
I'm getting tired of this. I'm gonna use a divine smite.
Oh shit.
If you weren't so close, I would fireball.
All right. Your divine smite strikes that snake right down the middle as the water tries to pull itself back together before getting mixed in with the sleet storm coming around you and it freezes as it hits the.
Nope, not today, Felicia.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to attack Reaver 1.
Yeah, I'm tired today. Oh lordy. Oh lord, he thick.
All right, Fulgrim.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, well, I'll do that next round. Next turn.
That is not nice.
just screaming, "Die!"
And as you do that, you catch it right in the chest and rip your battle axe out, for it falls back over onto the bridge. The blood that's coming out of it is bringing up steam.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we got one. The rest of you pansies will eat lead and steel. Right, I don't think I need Hunter's Mark on that thing, but I'm gonna cast it anyway, as a bonus action.
Oof. Why would you do that? You don't need to do that.
And I'm gonna shoot at it, at least once. Oh shit, it still has that effect on it, I think.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
You had Hunter's Mark, so that's fine.
okay.
All right, so your
Dead.
arrow lobs over the other one into the priest. As it takes the arrow, it looks hurt, and it, almost in its last-ditch effort, flings itself over the side of the bridge,
No!
bleed
No
streaming
into the
down.
water.
And with him out,
Ain't bad.
I can never figure out how to delete these damn symbols, these circles.
Should be a little dot right in that 20. And then just right click.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's weird.
You can just hit both your left and right mouse buttons at the same time.
Okay, so
Whatever.
I still have one attack left, but unless you want to do something as a DM right now.
No, you still have one attack left. You used your bonus action to cast the spell, so I don't think you can use your bonus action to move the spell.
Correct.
So I'm pretty sure it's just lost. But you do have an extra attack, as you do have that. You made the attack action, now you can attack again.
Because the range is only 10, is that...
No, you're fine. It's not disadvantage. It has to be right up close.
I'll shoot at point blank range and hit it in the head.
Nice.
You come pretty damn close.
Damn, dude. Very nice.
You shoot an arrow right into that Reaver's clavicle.
Ooh, nasty.
Filtering, you were there. Sorry about that. All right, the other Reaver
Oh, he's probably gonna piss off. Ooh, I'm tired.
kind of
still.
looks back and forth,
Damn.
looks at its allies defeated. It takes its it looks towards the
Water. Or
and then turns
water.
back around and grips its weapon with two hands again. But it slips on some of the ice that it's still there. It's like brushed up against the it's leaning against the side of the bridge. Ren.
Firebolt.
I'm going to transfer Hunter's Mark to him.
All right.
Should we try to take him
Huh?
alive?
Do we want to?
I don't know if he'll give up information, but we could always try.
No, he's gonna die.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't have 600 HP.
All right. With that, the Vengeance Paladin takes its sword, puts it up against the Reaver's neck, and just pushes it in and decapitates.
Gross.
Oh, I guess you don't get that staff. That you want to jump in the water and look.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's true.
Nope.
Check out the two guys' bodies, paying particular attention to the sword.
So the swords are
Nope.
definitely interesting. They are of a unique design. They are about the size and weight of a regular longsword. But instead of the regular blade that you're used to, like I said, the edges of them remind you of shark teeth. They are there to dig into the flesh of another individual and rip and cause it to start bleeding.
Nice.
Yes, it is a longsword, technically. If you were to get a good enough hit in the right place with this, you could probably just land the hit, even a shallow one, and let the target go, and it would most likely bleed out within the hour. Yeah, something very similar to that.
What a weird looking sword.
Is that a Maori blade?
Looks like it. Maori warblade, yeah.
John didn't like my stream. Sad face.
But other than that, like I was saying, the weapons of those guys are very unique, but the rest of the clothing is just, they didn't wear much, just some very simple sandals, some cloth shorts, and a aquamarine cloak over one of their shoulders. The other two, one of them dived into the river and was taken by the currents, while one of them was in that liquid snake form and just froze on the spot when he was cut in half.
Do they have any other possessions?
They don't have much on them.
It'd
The
be
weapons
me.
and their basic cloth clothing.
Do they have cloaks?
What'd you say?
Cloaks. Do they have a cloak? You said they all wore the same.
Yeah, so other than the shorts and sandals, on their torso, they were shirtless but wore two aquamarine cloaks. So
Can we see if there are any symbols on the cloaks?
the cloaks themselves don't have symbols on them, but they do have matching colors.
Can we check and see if they are, what you call that? What kind of fabric they're made of?
It's a shit. I don't know much about fabric. It seems to be just a basic fabric dyed in just dyed blue.
Is it like a
Dyed
high
blue.
class fabric, like linen or silk, or?
I would say that it's probably linen. It's not as fancy as silk. It's something that would something tough and durable.
Tough and durable.
Okay.
But it's not quite leather either.
So out of character for a bit, the story so far, because I just joined today, we're basically searching for some.
She'll say multiplying.
Yes, so they've been given, they've been asked by an organization known as the Harpers, which is a secret organization of politicians, rogues, pretty much anybody in all walks of life that try to keep an eye out and collect information and try to use it to better bring peace and security to the sword.
Nice.
Okay. And they charged us, or at least our party, with finding a certain group of individuals that might have been causing trouble, or that has been proven to cause.
Yes.
Well, they've actually charged you with finding a delegation of. The Harpers are one of several organizations that operate along the Sword Coast, that each have different methodologies about how to go about it, but they all seek to bring peace and order to the Sword Coast.
Bad.
And a delegation of various members from those organizations had met up in Red Larch and then had traveled along the Somber Hills, passing through the Larch Path
Hey,
up
William
towards the
Simons.
Stone Bridge. So they must have passed through where you guys are right now,
Thank you.
into Belliard, and then south along the what's called the Dessern Trail, or the Dessern Road, trying to get to Summit Hall. But in between Belliard and Summit Hall, they disappeared.
Okay.
Don't disappear, man.
And that was about a month ago.
Okay.
Each of the organizations is attempting to find them, or at least try to figure out what happened, because nobody has come up with any information about what happened to a large band of travelers.
That's not good.
Okay, how large was this group?
Over 20 people.
Okay, and did they have armed guards with them?
They did.
Yeah. There's
Okay.
a list of people.
And these mysterious beings, I'm assuming that no one has ever seen them before? At least no one from our party.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
I believe that was the first run-in you guys have had with them.
Okay.
Not nice.
And we heard tales of guys in gold masks that were acting weird, but not like that.
These men attacked us right away for no reason. Why?
It's because I smell. Do I smell? It's because I smell, isn't it? Asshole.
They had reasons, we just don't know what they are.
Agreed. It's almost like they were waiting for a group of people, maybe even us.
Saturdays. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's right. 5 games.
Well, there have been people disappearing. Maybe they were looking to either kill us or snag us for whatever nefarious purpose.
They don't like us.
Should we check them for any other belongings?
They didn't have any other belongings on them. They wore very simple
John,
clothes.
You're losing control, huh? Not cool, man. It's kind of mean.
So the only thing that they left behind of any notice is the sword. Or two
Yes.
of those.
Huh.
The
Yeah,
sword
I got nothing.
I wouldn't say that it's of any better quality make than your own weapons, but it is just unique in design.
Out of character question, does this sword give you like special
Saturday
condition
advanced
on your
character.
attacks?
Under the right circumstances, yes.
I'm not sure if Rendrick or Fulgrim is using a longsword.
Rendrick does, but he's not interested in those.
Okay.
I think we should definitely keep at least one to ask if anybody's seen them around.
Yeah, we should probably pick up one of the swords and take it with us.
All right.
Maybe 6 p.m. Damn.
Leave their bodies for the vultures.
Midnight.
They deserve no
Yeah,
better.
it'd be 6 p.m. Damn, man. I would totally do
Oh,
that.
shit, hold on, guys. My Steam overlay just popped up for no reason, and I can't close. The heck just happened? That was weird.
Oh, actually, yeah. log in.
All right. I have
Log into Fantasy Grounds College.
put that in the party sheet. You guys have a few other things also in the party sheet that you might want to distribute.
Really? What the hell we got? Dragon card.
But you can do that later if you want. But at the Stone Bridge, looking at the map that you ran across in Tribor,
what the hell's that?
you're kind of looking at it. You've got about a half day's more travel to go to Belliard. It's becoming kind of
Nighttime, man.
but you might be able to push through and get in late into Belliard.
Or should we camp within sight of the river and see if anybody comes back to check on?
That might be a good idea. Besides, some of us are wounded and need to rest.
Sleep is always good.
Can I use my knowledge of the terrain, because you said I've been here for a few weeks, to find us a suitable camping spot?
Yeah, once you cross to the other side of the bridge, which side of the bridge are you guys going to be on, just out of curiosity?
Belliard side, actually.
Okay, and you want to stick close to the river, or?
Yes, but preferably in a sheltered position, somewhere probably near that hillside that gives us a clear overview of the bridge, but not so much that others can see it.
Okay, so along that, when you get to the other side of the bridge, it does kind of end on top of a bank of. So you would have to go either north or south around the bridge, and along that side, you think that you could probably, if you stay low, all along the river, it kind of like the plains end, and then the earth kind of dives down, as this is where the river has, after flowing for who knows how many years, has cut into the earth. So if you stay low and maybe stay away from right at the edge, you might be able to set up a spot to kind of like rest for a second and keep an eye on the bridge where you are.
No fire.
That's the thing. Any light source will certainly give you away, and it is becoming night.
There we go. What?
Everybody but Rendrick has dark vision, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Dark vision only goes out to about 60 feet. You'd have to stick really close to the bridge.
Mine goes out to 90 feet because of Umbral's side.
Very nice.
So you can stick a little bit further away.
Yes, but I don't think I can stay awake all night by myself.
And these guys were human, so they might need lights if they're coming in like a boat or anything.
That's very true.
That's weird.
What do you guys think we should do?
I don't have a problem with sitting here for a little bit.
Out of character question for a sec. Regaining arrows, you just have to buy those.
Yeah, you didn't say anything towards the end of combat to try to gather any arrows up. And not every arrow is going to be able to be gathered up. So.
Yeah, I know.
But arrows are relatively easy to come across in any kind of civilization. They're not difficult.
Okay, fine.
That is very
okay,
true.
so you guys are going to camp out on the bank of the river, trying to keep an eye on the bridge. See if anybody comes by.
Yes.
Okay. So, let's say Arawak, roll me a survival check to see if you can find a spot suitable enough to be close enough for the river to keep an eye.
Oh my god.
Nope.
Oh, one.
So you look around and to find a spot that you can both see. You can't seem to find a spot that would cover you guys and be able to see underneath the river. Or underneath the bridge, I'm sorry. All you can really keep an eye on is the north side of the bridge.
Too bad I can't use my perception or insight on that.
Okay. If you guys are camping throughout the night, everybody roll me a perception. Okay. The night kind of passes by, and due to the darkness around you and the spot that you've got, you guys don't spot anybody coming through. But you do get a night's rest in, keeping an eye on the river over there. But morning breaks and nothing comes by.
Nothing comes by. Alright, anyway, so
So we just keep heading to Belliard then, huh?
I guess so. Wait, can I still go back to that bridge and see if I can pick up some of my arrows?
Yeah. You're able to recover one arrow.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you set back out on the trail, and you go about another half day down, couple of hours before you start crossing into more popular farmland. Orchards and large cattle ranches can be seen on either side of the road as you approach a kind of hub area that these various businesses and cattle farming and farming would meet at to trade and swap. A large stockyard lies on the east side of the town, and a stone warehouse alongside the Desserin Road indicates that this is a regular caravan traffic spot for people who are passing through. Almost as soon as you guys walk into town, if you've got your ears out for rumors, you can hear every once in a while bring up the topic of the caravan, the most famous one that you guys are looking through that have passed through here. So far, it's just rumors, theories, and just general gossip. Some say that the gods smited them. More the religious folks say that. Some say that they just got lost. Others say that a monster got them. The Desserin Valley is known for having weird and random ruins lying around that have all sorts of nasty things in them. But just getting into town, you can tell that they definitely did come through here.
We should ask around. Let's go to the local inn.
Is that what you guys want to do?
Sounds good to me.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Is there a shrine here? or any kind of temple?
Let's see.
Oh, and I need to buy new arrows. Jesus.
There is a small shrine to the goddess of harvest and nature. I forget what her name is. I apologize, but I can look that up later.
Shantae.
Shantae, thank you. There's a small shrine, but it's not even it's small and doesn't even really have a regularly attending priest to it. It's more just like a place for people to stop and pray for good fortune.
Well, let's head to the tavern first then.
I'm
All
not
right,
really
so you
engaging
kind
right
of ask,
now. Trying to
you grab somebody and just ask, hey, what's the
figure some
best
shit
tavern
out.
in town? And they point you a little further in towards the Watchful Night. And it's about midday, so most people are still at work, but you probably, due to the size of the common room, you can tell that this is where a lot of locals flock to get their drink at the end of a long day of
Drink
farming
along.
or cattle wrestling
Thank God.
or cattle herding, wrestling and stealing them.
Not nice.
Can we talk to the innkeeper or whoever's behind the bar?
Yes. So when you come in, the innkeeper introduces himself as Neshor, Neshor.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't get that.
Neshor.
N-E-S-H.
Yep. And he's a portly human, balding slightly, but he seems jovial enough.
Portly as a
and he welcomes in some customers in a little bit earlier than his normal rush hour. And he offers you up either to sit at the bar or take your pick of the various tables in the common. He can spot
Nice.
a group of travelers from a mile away at this point.
What do you want to do?
And he takes your orders of drink. Do you want to ask him anything?
Did you see a
I'll
special
ask him.
entourage? Oh, sorry, you go.
Okay, so Fulgrin, you ask him about. So what are you asking him about, actually? Fulgrin.
He might have disappeared.
I guess Fulgrin doesn't ask him about anything. Arawak, do you want to try? Does anybody else?
If no one else wants to try, I'll do it.
I'm just wanting
Okay,
some ale.
so everyone's being super silent, but Arawak, you ask it.
Knock yourself out.
Good day, innkeeper. Tell me, have you seen any other travelers come here about a month ago? A large group of 20 people at least.
Oh, yes. It's all the rumor these days. I assume you even heard about it coming into town. It's all anyone ever wants to talk about.
Tell me, did they stay here at your inn? Did they get something to drink here?
Indeed, they did. They actually stayed right here, in this very inn. They stopped in, several of the guards took a break, put the feet up, enjoyed some of our mead. I spoke with the leaders themselves, actually, as they arranged rooms.
How long did they stay here, good sir?
Only a day, only a single night. They came in a little bit later than you guys into town, but they were in high spirits.
And then did they set off? Do you know in which direction they went?
They mentioned that they were heading south. They had some business to attend in the Summit Hall.
Oh, the gear. Wait, what?
The last I heard, that's the last anyone ever heard from them is after they left town.
Did they perhaps hire a local guide to guide them towards Summit?
Huh.
I don't think they needed to. They seemed pretty well equipped as it is. They had several guards And a few of the leaders look like they might be able to handle themselves as well.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please enjoy yourselves and stay as long as you wish.
Thank you. Oh no.
Okay, that's
not nice.
so. The proprietor Nishar grabs your drinks, or takes your drink order and goes back, starts filling them, and then gives them to a young wafty woman who comes over and begins placing the drinks before you. Before she leans over and says, "I heard you were asking about the delegate."
Yes.
Well, I don't know if it means anything, but at that night, my boss doesn't usually like me saying this or talking bad about our customers. I noticed a strange person that seemed to be wearing a golden mask all night. He would lift it only to take a drink of his brew. He was dressed in these strange black robes. He didn't do anything and he didn't say anything to anybody, but if I didn't know any better, he seemed to be watching them very closely, the delegation. I don't think any of them noticed him either, as he just stayed in the corner and didn't move for several hours. And eventually he just kind of disappeared, left money on the table, and just wasn't there anymore.
Have you seen any shady-looking characters, lightly dressed, bluish, green cloaks, kind of short, around town?
Bluish green cloaks. That does seem to sound familiar.
Show her the sword. Maybe she saw the sword.
Eat the sword.
Yeah,
I'm
let
so
her see the
confused.
sword.
She's a little bit nervous about having the weaponry brought out before her. But she says that it doesn't look particularly familiar to her. She seems to remember some people talking about that they've recently seen people coming in keel boats up and down the Desserin River. And somehow the you mentioning their choice in color brings that to mind to her.
And this is unusual?
It's a little unusual, because usually the Desserin River is used for trafficking goods, but these people don't seem to be actually. They're just moving people. They're not moving goods, from what she can remember people telling them. It does cut right through the Summit Hills, which a lot of people tend to stay away from, as it is a more dangerous area. The Sumber Hills. I'm sorry, not Summit. Sumber.
Sumber Hills.
Does she know anything? No, wait. We should ask that in
February 2nd. February 2nd.
Can
So
I ask her another
Sunday,
question?
Sure.
10 a.m. Damn.
Have you heard anything strange going on between here and Summit Hall? About the hills? Any strange folk in the hills in particular?
I believe the most I know about it is that in between here and Summit Hall is where the delegation disappeared, although no one's quite sure what happened to them or where it happened. It's a day or two's walk to Summit Hall from here. There was one of the cattle ranchers who came in here a couple of days ago talking about something strange he did see along that path. I can't remember what it was, but I think that drover's name was Joey or maybe Tommy. I'm sorry, I can't quite remember.
Thank you for your
Or
help.
Jamal.
Of course.
Tyrone
I'm
Shoelaces.
not from this region. What is Summit Hall?
She says that she doesn't know too much about it herself, but she says that Summit Hall is an old place that's been there maybe even longer than Belliard itself. It seems to be a temple or a monastery. She's not sure, dedicated to Tyr. She says that she knows that very important people are often taken there after death to be buried. So she thinks it's like a graveyard or something.
Hmm.
Rendrick is a worshiper of Tyr. Would he know anything about it?
Yes, so you would have heard about Summit Hall. It is a popular place for paladins and clerics and other clergymen of Tyr, and sometimes other gods that are allied with Tyr, to be buried with honor. To go there is to be buried there is to acknowledge that in your life you spread the teachings and lived the ideals of Tyr.
Nice.
It was founded several hundred years ago by a paladin named Samuel Caradune.
Caradune.
Yes, Caradune. Samuel Caradune. You know that he himself and his brother are buried there, and while it's no longer really not really any longer a center of the Knights of T or any such thing. It did have a small order that was based out of there when it was founded, although they have moved on and it's more of a resting place for the dead now.
Well, if they disappeared on the way there, let's go, I guess.
Wait. Before we go, I still need to restock on arrows, and we should find those 2 cattle drivers. The one the girl mentioned, Joey or Tommy or whatever. Oh wait, it was one guy.
Yeah, she couldn't quite remember his name.
Maybe we should ask around about them. Or about him. Sorry.
Going out and finding a Fletcher is easy enough. Go ahead and mark off the gold to replace any arrows that you...
I want to replace 7. What was the price of 1 arrow in this campaign?
It was...
I think it's 2 silver pieces, isn't it?
It's not super expensive, yeah.
Items. Hello.
So...
I guess Fantasy Grounds is going to crash.
Just mark off 2 gold.
5 copper. So if you want 7, that's... whatever that is.
I would just get another quiver.
What? Get another quiver? With 20 arrows, you mean?
Well, you can get a quiver for 1 gold that holds 20 arrows, and then you get 20 arrows, so then you can have extra arrows.
Yeah, so then I have 33. I just carry an extra quiver with me.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's easier.
Alright, mark off a gold and add yourself another 20 arrows.
It's cheaper.
Are there like town guards?
Not really, not here. It's not big enough to require that, but as you look around and kind of ask around, kind of how this place becomes protected is that there are this just seems to be a popular spot for old adventurers to kind of retire to and take up a farm in, or maybe get into cattle ranching or something like that. But throughout the town, there are several somewhat notable adventurers from past times that are kind of in their retirement, but could probably still swing a stick hard enough to keep any bandits or anything away from here.
Nice.
Just ask around a little bit to see if anybody's seen either the shady characters in the gold mask or the guys with the little blue
Okay, so you guys rest in the inn, so I'm going to give you guys another one.
Sweet.
And then you kind of go out, and before heading out of town, you ask around, and you do eventually run into a couple of cattle drovers. And one of them seems to be the person that the waitress mentioned you to before, and he's happy to tell you that that he actually did meet the delegation along the road about 10 miles south of town. So they got at least 10 miles. Excuse me. They got about at least 10 miles out of town to the south towards Summit Hall before disappearing. That's the last that he's kind of proud of himself, as he is kind of the last known person to see them. And then later that day, while he was closer to Belliard, he did see a group of 5 warriors, this time dressed in sky blue. So it's a little bit different than what you saw as aquamarine, the greenish, that were flying on what looked like giant birds. And the riders just kind of flew overhead and turned south in the same direction that the delegation was running. But that's the last he saw of it.
Can we show him the sword? Maybe he saw the sword on them as well.
Yeah. Show him the sword.
If you show him the sword, he doesn't.
Let's see the sword.
He doesn't really recognize it. He said that he was too. Obviously they were flying up in the air, and he was too far away to really get a good look at what they were fully carrying. All he could see was they were riding on these black birds, and had those blue cloaks on them on top. The blue cloaks are kind of what gave them away, that there was something riding on those birds.
Could he see if they had a bare chest?
He can't. He doesn't know.
Okay. Can I ask him if his name is Joey?
Joey?
Jimmy, actually. Why do you ask?
The girl at the inn of Belliard said he told us to find a cattle driver, and he should have been. She thought his name was Joey.
And at that, he kind of his face kind of depletes a little bit. He says, "Oh, okay."
Oh.
Or Tommy. Do you happen to know the girl at the inn?
Yeah, but I guess she doesn't know me.
Oh, poor guy.
You should go and buy her a drink.
You know what? I think I will.
Give him a silver for his time.
He thanks you. He's like, "Woo! I knew seeing those guys would my day would come." Yeah. And he's walks away with a pep in his step.
Farewell. Good day, sir.
Bye, Felicia. That was not nice to say. But I'm not a nice boy today. I'm so tired.
So it kind of sounds like we have 3 different groups in this region.
Yeah.
I know of 2. Well, actually, do you count the delegation along?
Well, no, I don't think the guy in the little blue-green cloaks would be flying on birds.
I'm not sure where you got blue green. I only heard blue, but the guys on the birds are sky blue. That's what Brogard.
The guys we fought were kind of a bluish green cloak I took.
Yeah, an
Oh,
aquamarine.
Aquamarine.
Ah, okay. I missed that part. I think. I
Kind of
thought
the
they were
color of
also-
the ocean.
Okay. I also thought they were sky blue, but then yeah, I agree. Then there are three groups: the ones we fought, the aquamarine ones, the sky blue bird riders, and the weird guy in the gold mask. What's he
Weird
called?
guy in the gold mask.
Before we got to town, we heard tell of a group of 3 or 4 of them.
3 or 4 with the gold masks, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, up at Tribor.
Ah, okay. So yeah, then those three would be the group.
Hell yeah.
So, as you guys are discussing this, Jimmy actually turns back around as if he remembers something and kind of comes up to you. And he leans in and he whispers, "Hey, don't tell him I said this, but our town master, he actually came to me a little while ago and asked me to not talk about those bird guys. Don't tell him I told you about it, but maybe go ask him. I think he knows more about them."
What do you guys think? Should we go back and tell him?
We could tell him that we saw them.
Would they even let us near him? I mean, he is kind of like the mayor of Delhi.
He's not like guarded. He's not like the president of the United States. He just kind of mills about his business. You ask around, I'm sure you could get pointed to him.
And remember, you're hanging with the heroes of Van Dalen.
But do they know
what
that?
now? The heroes of what?
Van Dalen.
We kind of liberated this little town called Van Dalen from a group of bandits, and we also helped them out in a couple other ways.
Ha! That is good to hear that I am in such esteemed company.
Yes.
Yeah, we're kind of a big deal.
All right, what you guys want to do?
Sounds good to me.
Same.
You guys haven't said what you want to do. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so you guys ask around, and eventually you find a man named Halrid. He's a little older, but he's well built. He carries a mace on his waist, but other than that, he's just wearing casual but formal clothing, marking his status as a figure in a small town such as this.
Ooh, excuse me.
And he was just having a conversation with some more peasants, I guess you want to call them, before you guys approach him, and he turns to you. And immediately he says, let me guess. You're looking for the delegation, right?
How'd you know?
It's all anyone's talking about. And I can size up for fellow adventurers just like anybody else. I used to be one of you. So I know the look.
Wait, You used to be one of us?
Of course.
So what do you
A
like?
lot of people around here used to be one of you.
So
There's a lot of adventure to be had in this area. Ruins to explore.
Is he a special
Secrets
boy?
to be had.
He's a
Orcs
special.
to drive off.
He's a special
all
boy.
that good stuff.
Wait, orcs to drive off? Where?
Oh, haven't seen too many of them around lately, but every couple of years it seems like a horde comes in and just kind of infests the area like locusts. And then they eventually pass on and move. And then a couple more years go by and they come back. I don't know when they're going to come again. They always do. And they always leave.
They don't like us.
It's almost like a rainy season here.
Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go?
I don't know. If you search around hard enough, you might find a few stragglers here and there. It's not completely unheard of.
Hey,
But I thought you guys were here about the delegation.
Solar Argos, thank you.
We are.
Well, I can tell you that they did speak with me, and they did pass through here. They were going to Summit Hills, but that's about all I know.
You got about 20 minutes left in this game.
They were so well armed, I didn't think they would need any
And then
help. I guess I was wrong on that.
2.5 hours, I'll be playing some Descent into Avernus.
The delegation that you saw
Damning that one.
and that you spoke to. How large was the group when they arrived?
I only spoke to a few of them. I think the others were scattered around the various places, and I'd guess anywhere between 20 and 30, honestly.
Don't need that map no more.
All right. And you said that
We might
they
go a
left
little bit
here
longer tonight, I'm
on
not
their
sure.
way to Summit Hall, correct?
Yep.
We started like an hour and a half late because
Desserin Road runs south of here.
I kind of
passes through
slept in.
Summit Hall. Eventually winds itself back around Worm.
Does one of you guys want to talk to him about the sky blue cape guys on the dragon or on the bird black?
Shit, I honestly don't know.
We had a run-in on the way to town with some guys. They seemed to be dressed in little blue aquamarine cloaks. Kind of different, sketchy people. Have you seen any of them around town?
He kind of like strokes his small beard there for a second and says, well,
for magic missile.
It's not unheard of for bandits to just kind of hang out in bridges.
It's ahead.
And occasionally they do make use of the Desserin River.
I honestly
to
have
just
no
kind of
use
make
for
a
darkness.
getaway.
I mean, I guess I could, but
maybe that's what you ran into?
These guys seem to have a real connection with the water. They talked about us joining with the water. Just seemed kind of strange.
We can all float here.
My, that is strange.
We all float here.
Sense motive on him when I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I don't think
give me an insight check.
With 2 melee players, I don't really think. Well, no, I can. Do I want web or darkness? Because I'm keeping fireball and haste.
He seems to be on the up and up. He hasn't heard anything about this so far.
I don't know, stream. What should I take?
Should
I keep my current spells or swap them out?
Wait, we had 3. Sorry, out of character. We had 3 groups.
I don't know.
That we kind of encountered so far. Well, actually, I don't think we've encountered the gold masks yet in person.
You've only heard of them, and you've only heard of the blue cloaked ones on flying steeds.
So I'm going more of necromancy build, but I get raised dead, I believe.
But he was asking about the water, the water obsessed ones.
Yes.
Yeah, 6th level I get animate dead, which is gonna be fun. They're not gonna like it.
Or basically lie to him and tell him we encountered.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
Flying on black birds wearing dark blue cloaks or sky blue.
Grim Harvey, I don't need that one. So,
I'll try my poker
6.
face at that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I guess I'll just keep these.
So when you mentioned the flying people with cloaks on, he does seem to react to that, and he looks both a little bit annoyed and nervous. And he says,
I can keep that.
"Oh yes, those. I guess you've heard about them, huh? Or did you see them?"
We saw them.
We actually saw them at a bit of a distance. It was different.
Well, those are apparently some knights that have been gathering at a place called Feathergale Spire on the other sides of the Somber Hill, closer to Red Larch.
Holy shit.
There's apparently this big tower that they hang out in and roost their birds in. I think I heard that they come from Waterdeep.
Oh no.
And they've been flying all over the Somber Hills lately and just scaring the crap out of people. But so far, they haven't messed with anybody that I've heard of. They just fly and just kind of be figures imposing in the sky.
Can I study his body language to see if he's lying?
Yeah, me too.
Both of you insight checks. You think he's telling the truth? He's giving you what you know, what he knows.
Give me what you know.
He seems to be unsure about them himself.
Okay.
Give me all you know.
Last thing, we've also heard tales from a couple people, not even here, but in Westbridge, about guys in gold masks wearing black robes that don't like to show their faces around.
Huh. That's news to me. Where did you hear about this?
At the inn we stayed at in Westbridge, they talked about a group of them being around town. Just seems like a lot of bandits operating in the same region.
Well, that is a lot of strange incidences.
It is very strange.
I haven't personally seen any of those, or really even heard about them.
What spells to keep? Those are staying.
But I agree with you, young man.
I honestly don't know what to keep.
It does seem to be becoming more dangerous around.
Do I want to take darkness and swap it for web?
Not the quiet little town that I settled down into, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
I might actually have to use this thing eventually, and he laughs and
Burning
gestures to
hands.
his
No,
mace.
I don't really care about burning hands. Yes.
We'll see about what we can do about that.
Yes. Take it all, man. Ow.
I'd like to speak to my companions for a bit in private.
Brogorkthefork.
Okay, so you guys thank him for his time, and he nods at you and goes about his business. You're able to find like a quiet corner or bench to kind of gather on.
We're about to head towards Summit Hall. Maybe there might be some issues along the way that this guy can reward us for. Should we ask him about
it?
That's up to you, but we already have a mission.
Yes, we do.
And that's enough for Rendrick anyway. I mean, he wouldn't be opposed to doing something extra.
I mean, if we happen to stumble on a bandit lair or camp along the way, and if we find a certain individual that is mentioned on the wanted poster, that could be helpful.
I'll ask him if there's any bounties available.
We could also see if there's any travelers going to Summit Hall that would be willing to hire some protection.
Yeah.
Agreed. They both seem like good options.
What is the almighty DM?
Let's see here. So you want to ask him about any bounties that you might have?
we should just
Sure.
hold the vote.
Sure, let's ask him.
What the
So-
hell's that one? Lucky's.
He does say that around, not really along the Desserin Road, but if you travel east out of Belliard into kind of the plains,
Right,
it's just
that's
kind of stick
Bucky's.
around the side of the Summit Hills, and then
Bucky.
start going south when the hills kind of end themselves. Along that most eastern side here, there is he's had scouting reports say that there seems to be some ruins or something over there that have had monsters starting to kind of gather there. So far, they haven't been a problem, as a lot of people don't go over in that area.
Sure they do.
But if you guys wanted to check it out, he might be able to come up with some funds for you.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it. Oops. Rounds.
Well, and if we're gonna go to Summit Hall anyway, we could check on travelers
No,
as well.
Jesus, Pete. Jeez, oh, Pete.
So,
Trying to find something.
are you guys going to go east around the Summer Hills, or are you going to go cut through the Desserin Road, which is the more traveled path, and where the delegation disappeared?
Yeah, anybody that's going to go down that would hire travel, would hire protection, would want to go down the road. Not going to
Yeah.
go around. They don't want to go around the hills to the woods.
I have to agree with Rendrick on that. Or Rendrick.
Okay, let's check out the ruins he was talking about. Maybe give it a day or two, and then continue on to Summit Hall to continue the investigation.
That works. That works.
But at
I'm
some
cool
point,
with
we
you.
need to go back to Belliard and go down the path. See if we can find where the delegation disappeared.
Yeah, the delegation never reached Summit Hall. It was headed there, but never reached there.
Hey. What I get?
Hmm.
I say we go find these ruins, take care of whatever problem is there, go back to Belliard, collect the bounty, and then head down the road.
Agreed.
The ruins are about a day's travel east out
Brianna
of
Todd.
Belliard through
Appreciate
wilderness and
that.
through hills. You could possibly cut back up into the hills. They're eventually they stop being hills and be more like
We'll be playing
plateaus.
some more
that
Dungeons and Dragons
you'd have to
later
work
today.
your way through. It would add a lot of extra time trying to get through there. But you could cut back west through the hills, back onto the trail, kind of halfway through.
Have another game here in a couple hours.
Or you could just travel back around to Belliard and then cut through the Desserin Road.
I say we do that.
I
Because we
agree.
don't know where they disappeared at.
Nope.
Yeah.
About 10 miles out, but that's the that's the last time anyone saw them.
Yeah, I agree with Rendrick.
Well, let's do it then. Let's do it.
All right. So it's getting close to noon. I am a little bit short on time there. I know we started late, guys. I apologize for that. But I am going to have to cut it pretty close to noon.
Yeah.
So we can make our way over to the ruins now if you want, and we can pick up at the ruins when we get back.
Sounds good.
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, so if that guy is what you're doing, you guys do head out west crossing some farmland, and then eventually it gives way to plains. To the
West
south
or
of you,
east?
you're going east. So kind of on the east side of Belliard, within, for a few miles, there's some farmlands, some cattle ranches, things like that.
East side.
Eventually those give way to just more open plains. To the south of you, you kind of stick along where the hills start as you travel east and a little bit south along, following the hills until you reach the area where you think the ruins might be. And we'll figure out if you can find them next time.
Alrighty.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry
Thank you
for
as well.
See
getting
ya.
here late. Sorry for being late. I slept too long.
Don't let it happen again, or I will have to beat you.
It happens.
Sorry, my character rolling took so long.
That's all right. Now we have a fifth character, and Donato will be back next time.
This is true.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you as well. Alright, I'll disconnect and wish you a pleasant day, evening.
Hey, you
too.
too.
Alright, see you guys.
I guess I can make a little channel or a subgroup for Sunday mornings.
I was wondering, in Gorgio, if you or do you know anybody who has Tabletop Simulator?
I do not. I can ask around.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could get from this somewhere in these various channels a group together to play some tabletop games. It's one of my hobbies. I like to do it. It's fun.
Yeah, I personally don't, but I can ask. Yeah. Fulgrin. When he said Cara Dune, that's who I was thinking of. But tabletop, yeah, I can ask a couple people around.
Okay, cool.
What do you play?
Lately I have been playing either Settlers Catan, Gloomhaven, or Descent. But I also sometimes play this deck building game. But I'm kind of open to if I can find some people to play with. What about you? What's your favorite?
All right.